delighted to be here and delighted to be supporting this event. I'm John Kitchingman. I lead our business in Northern Europe. And Dassault Systems, who are we? We're a scientific software company. Arthur was talking earlier about purpose. Our purpose is to provide 3D experience universes, platforms that enable clients and people to create sustainable innovation, harmonizing product, nature, and life. And yesterday at the pre-day, I was talking about one of our Dutch clients, Lightyear, and only been around about 3 years, challenging one of the most established markets in the world, the car industry. When you speak to Lex, the CEO, he talks about being a tech company on a mission to provide clean mobility for everybody. So whether you're a Lightyear or whether you're a more established, large international corporation, what we're finding is business sustainability is playing a key role within business plans and business models. And earlier this year, and again yesterday, we started to challenge and look at the challenges and issues and the pillars within business sustainability. We looked at the business model and what people needed to differentiate. We looked at product and or service innovation. And one of the factors that kept coming back and back and back was the workforce of the future. How do we attract, educate, nurture, and ultimately retain that talent for our businesses? So, with Chris moderating yesterday, we broke into groups. We looked at a number of different subjects, be it industries around agriculture, food and water, by way of example, and also that key topic of workforce of the future. So Chris is going to share some of the findings from yesterday, and also some of the challenges for the rest of the day and time to come.
Thank you very much, John. Okay, so if anyone wonders what CIOs hard at work looks like, this is what they look like. Where there was about 100 CIOs in the room, we were just next door, and we were looking at 5 main topics. And as Arthur said, it's no longer enough, as in your role as CIOs, just to think internally about your own technology, but also you need to think about the place of your business within wider society. And so the themes that we looked at were health and care, energy transition and sustainability, agriculture, food and water, safety, security and privacy, and then the workforce of the future topic. And I think it's fair to say we didn't solve any of the 5 of them completely, but I think we made some pretty good progress on some of those topics. So let me just give you a couple of examples. So with health and care, we were asking, what are the challenges presented in this area, and what is the opportunity for CIOs and their organizations to play a role in addressing those challenges? So really linking organizations with these societal challenges. In that one, as an example, one of the opportunities to make significant progress in the Netherlands is around preventative care. And preventative care, there's lots of dimensions, but one of them is, how do we get the data into the hand of the individual in order to be able for them to understand the actions that they take and the impact that those actions will have on their health in the future. So a relatively simple to understand topic, but actually with huge implications around data and privacy and so on. So that was one example. Taking energy transition, we looked at this in 2 ways. One of them looking at different forms of energy provision in the future, but also looking at the carbon footprint of the data centers that are proliferating around the world. And one of our speakers told us that this was going to be one of the major challenges for CIOs, was to look at the energy, the carbon footprint of those data centers and how you address that. Once again, the opportunity was to take the data about energy usage and put it into the hands of the user in order for them to take meaningful action. When we go on to agriculture, food and water, we were looking at transparency, and that was a theme that cut across a lot of these topics. And in the area of transparency, Kees de Houwer, apologies to Kees if I've mangled his name with my English accent, but Kees introduced us to a new concept. So you may already have heard of farm to fork, the transparency of where the food was grown and tracing it all the way through to the restaurant or the home in which it's eaten. But he likes to extend this a little bit further to not just the farm, but the soil that the farm uses, right the way through to the impact that the food has on the person who consumes it. And the elegant concept that he introduced us to was from grass to arse. So there you go. That's what we'll be focusing on there. Very quickly, let me just pick up on the sustainable people and the workforce of the future one. On that topic, we understood the importance of no longer looking at individuals and their skills, but actually looking at teams and their capabilities and their ability to get the job done. And what was interesting here is that when we look at a whole organization, the very best place to start thinking in those terms is within the CIO and their team, because the group identified that CIOs and their teams are at the heart of change within business. So if you want to explore that topic and the other pillars John mentioned about business models and products and services, we will be continuing the discussion at 12:15 in the breakout upstairs. And with that, we'll hand it back to you, Jim. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Chris.